Deputy Speaker, my grievance is to the Minister for Sport and the Minister for Indoor Netball Centres in the southeast corridor of Western Australia. We need an indoor netball centre in my electorate and across the southeast corridor of Perth. There is a fantastic facility, a perfect location in Langford at the Southern Districts Netball Centre, Southern Districts Netball Association. That is a prime, perfect location to build a new facility so that young people can play sport in my community. And I would first of all just like to acknowledge the biggest champion of this, which is Bill Johnston, who is the local Member of Parliament for Langford, where this facility rests. But it is true that families and young people from across Perth, especially the southeast corridor, play and seek to play sport. I'm a father of young children, and we need more facilities in my growing community to ensure that young people can play sport and enjoy recreation and activity in our area. But Minister, let me pivot to another point. Minister, and I want to acknowledge all those young people watching at home today, enjoying the sport that they play, enjoying their, and I thank the coaches and the parents and all the people that take part in that. An indoor netball facility means that 6 p.m. in the middle of winter we can play sport. It is essentially a nightlights activity because of the indoor facility. When it rains, it means that we can train, it means that we can play. Minister, to put in context, again, I acknowledge Bill Johnston, who has absolutely been the champion of this. As a neighbouring seat, my families will greatly benefit from this. I'd like to acknowledge Matt Keogh, who was one of the first people, I don't know if you say you'd pass the ball, to acknowledge parts of this and actually bring a federal government contribution to actually get that ball moving. And I acknowledge Matt Keogh and Sam Lim for doing their work on that. I also acknowledge Gosnell's Council, a fantastic local council, who have also confirmed their funding contribution to this project. And my grievance is, Minister, if you can confirm what the state government contribution to this fantastic project will be. Now, Minister, you are a champion of all netball sports. Minister, you're a champion of all sports. All codes. Including mine. Indeed, indeed. Minister, we look forward to some good news that you can convey for my community. Gosnell Council has a policy, though. We won't be able to, if you're able to help us, we won't be able to call it the David Templeman Netball Facility, unfortunately, because we have a council rule where only those people who have passed on can be named after things, and we will not require you to meet those requirements for local facilities. But I would like to acknowledge a couple of other local champions in the area on this. Can I acknowledge
members?
Can I acknowledge Nikki Prothero, our Administrator of SDNA, Jenny Maris, our President, and all of the senior executive. And again, I've mentioned the coaches and the people that have played senior roles and leading roles every weekend, most weeknights to get us there. Kim Prescott-Brown as a local champion. Helen Robinson, who is essentially netball royalty in my community. But Minister, just like a netball team, as I've said, this has been led by our goal attack in Bill Johnston, the local Member of Parliament, and every single MLA area across the corridor is going to benefit. Again, our goal shooter would be Matt Keogh, Yaz in Jandakot would be our wing attack, Jags in Riverton would be our wing defence. Our goalkeeper would be Hugh Jones down in Byford. I also acknowledge Stephen Price, Member for Forestfield, Tony Booty, Member for Armidale, Chris Talentire in Thornley, Matt Hughes in Kalamunda. All of these
Who's checking their fingernails, Member?
Indeed. Thank you, Acting Speaker. But again, Minister, this has been a team effort and it will benefit the state, confirming the state government contribution to this very, very important joint project. Again, acknowledging the federal government, acknowledging the local council's involvement. I seek to lay on the table for the remainder of the day some of my correspondence to your office and to the Gosnell Council, seeking the positive work that we have done and we continue to do. Minister, my wonderful Gosnells Council will build this facility. Thank you. My wonderful Gosnells Council will build the facility. Minister, what can I inform my Gosnells Council about the state government investment so that young people across the southeast corridor can play sport and netball?
Minister.
I want to thank the and that was effective. Well, that was effective. That was. I want to thank the member for for Southern River for his extraordinary grievance, and a very good grievance. And I want to thank him for his passion for sport, for his passion for community, and his intimate knowledge of all of the individuals of his electorate who have been actively engaged. Now, look. Look, I think we all need to understand just how important all codes are in sport, but I've got to say I do have a particular soft spot for netball because it is actually one of the most highly participative sports in the nation. We have huge participation, predominantly by girls and young women. And older women who play in the senior ranks, but also increasing numbers of boys and young men are being attracted to the game. And because, quite frankly, it's one of the most skillful games to be either involved in as a participant or to watch. I go to the Fever Games regularly now. It is a spectacular a game to watch. And I encourage members who haven't perhaps been to a netball game to go and watch. The skill level is huge, and I know as a dad of a daughter, my daughter Mia, who plays for Mandurah, just recently participated in the carnival that was held at the Netball Centre here, which saw lots of country and suburban participants take place. It is, sorry? And teams, yeah, 20 teams from Singapore play a great game. So I'd encourage you to go and watch, of course, go and watch our state game, state team, the Fever. Remember, you've highlighted a number of things about how investment in infrastructure can make a huge difference to participation, in both increased participation, but also to highlight the sport more broadly amongst the community in terms of interest. You've highlighted that there's been land identified, and that there has been commitments made by the City of Gosnells and also the federal government through the federal member, Matt Keogh, and of course strong support from the member for Cannington, the Honourable Bill Johnson, and of course your effervescent support and advocacy. I love that. Look, I'm really pleased to say that the City successfully applied for a CSRFF grant, and I'm really pleased that I was able to sign off on that. That will add $1.5 million to the total project cost of $11.93 million. What this will see is four courts constructed that now will be able to be constructed, for covered courts. And I think your comment about the fact that we need more covered court facilities is a very important point that you've made, because it'll also allow other codes, basketball, badminton and volleyball, to have access as users as well. Now, it will be the home of the South Side Demons WA, which State Netball League team, which is going to be tremendous. So again, give some higher prominence to that particular entity in your locality. And you know, as you've said, the Southern Districts Netball Association, which you are so passionately supportive of, a wonderful supporter of, will be the primary user of that facility. I just want to also highlight, we've also in recent times, through funding to Netball WA, supported Netball WA with some of the following funding: $430,000 for the Industry Investment Program funding, $100,000 to the Regional Servicing Grant, $40,000 for 2 Regional Talent Development Network grants, and $156,000 allocated to 3 netball projects in other CSR and nightlight projects combined. So we'll keep investing. Now, you know also that we've got our the latest round of the CSRFF and the Night Lights program open now, and there'll be another round for the under 2 million scheme open on August 1st. And I am encouraging all members to make sure that they're talking, like you constantly do, to your local councils about projects that should be put up as part of the CSRFF scheme. But I want to really conclude by saying this. Member, you are a great example of somebody who understands their community intimately, about the needs of that community, and that the difference that infrastructure such as the infrastructure that now will be able to be built in your region and will be accessed by so many from your electorate, how that can make a huge difference. Promotes active participation right from the beginning, from girls when they're very, very young. And I've watched my daughter, she started when she was 8 and she's now 14, and I've got to say she's doing brilliantly because she's been coached by such wonderful volunteers. She's been supported by so many women in particular who have been absolute champions for so long in the Mandurah area, but I know they exist throughout Western Australia. They are the salt of the earth for the game. They turn up, they support the development of girls and young women, and they achieve so much. And I, like you, am so appreciative of the tremendous voluntary effort that so many people have put into the game of netball over many, many, many decades, but also those that turn out, and many of them now increasingly young women who not only play but actually contribute as umpires or contribute as coaches, team managers. It's just wonderful to see. So good on you, member for Southern River. Thanks for the grievance. Thank you for your advocacy, and I look forward to seeing that facility being constructed, open, and of course that so many, many girls and young women and men, young boys and young men, if they choose, are able to participate in codes like netball and others in those new facilities. Well done, brilliant job.
Yeah, thank you, Minister.